Good afternoon. Usually it's good morning, but no. Today it's a strange time of day for me to stream. I don't usually stream in the afternoon, but here we are. It's probably like the crack of dawn for you guys in the US. Yeah, 2 a.m. New York time. Jeez. But I mean, crypto enthusiasts, they don't sleep, right? They're nocturnal, especially the day traders, the people that are staying up that want to catch every little move, all the wee hours of the morning. So, what do we got? We got Bitcoin. First up, let me hide these lines. And this is our trading range that we've plunged back into. And if you can remember from the last stream, I had a rising wedge that we were keeping our eye on, and that was back here, I believe. I had it drawn in something like this, and I was saying to people, we're likely to drop out the bottom of this wedge. However, we still got a really nice push to a high after that drop. So yes, it played out textbook, but then it found support quite soon and was able to build price up to that new level there. Unfortunately, a lower high, which is the first indication of a downtrend, albeit just a short downtrend. As you can see, there is actually a bigger rising wedge in this pattern as well. Given more data, if you're Australian, we've got this rising wedge. Price fell out the bottom, which is the expected move. And where did that bring us to? It brought us to a level of support at 22k or 21,900, or just above that. And we are working our way back up. So what is really cool with the current price, or what price is doing at the moment, is that we set in this low, we now have a higher low here. We set in this high here, and we now have a higher high. So this is the beginning of a new move. It's a little bit inverse head and shoulders. Not very clean, but the gist of it is like this. Something like that, with the neckline being like, it's not the cleanest head and shoulders, but it is there. It has all the hallmarks of a reversal pattern. So, short term, we've got head and shoulders like your classic head and shoulders here. That broke down, of course, which is the expected move. You see them everywhere. You've got an inverse one here, which would reversed that current downtrend to move up. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, you can, if you zoom in, you can really see it. There's a head and shoulders right there. They're everywhere. You can find them everywhere. But all you're looking for, all you're identifying with the head and shoulders is a change in trend. So, in an uptrend, if you get a head and shoulders, it's going higher lows to lower highs. So higher low here, equal low, or sometimes higher low or lower low. But the high, it's all about the highs. So that was the highest point in this example. And then this was the key here to signal, oh, we've got a lower high. We've gone from creating higher highs to lower highs. And it's the same on the flip side. If you invert that, if you get a lower low, but then a higher low, it's like, oh, the weather has changed. We're changing direction. So that's all head and shoulders are. It's just to indicate a change in direction. So yeah, that's the basics of Head and Shoulders. We've just had basically an inverse Head and Shoulders, if you will. We've got our low here, higher low, high, higher high. So what we want to see next is if this does pull back, which is completely fine, we want to see a higher low again. We don't want to see it drop below this one, because then that would cancel this trend. And you would get a new downtrend as the low goes lower. So yeah, I guess with trend direction, it's all about the lows usually. If you're getting higher lows, it's an uptrend. If you're getting lower lows, it's a downtrend. Yeah, I guess in a higher low, higher high, it's like this. In a lower high, higher low, it's something like this. Lower low, but higher high. It's like an expanding, like megaphone pattern, like that. And then obviously the reverse of that would be higher lows but lower highs, which is a triangle like this. Something like that. Yeah, you get the gist of it. So compression is when everything squeezes to an apex. So if you think of a triangle like that, the apex being the point, and then price bouncing into that point. And the volatility gets reduced, so the highs and the lows get squeezed. And then the expected move after that is a breakout from that. It's because it's compressing like a spring. And then, if it's come off an uptrend, the expected move or the textbook outcome is a break to the upside. And same as the inverse. If in a downtrend compression, the expected move is a move to the downside. So those are some key fundamentals there with just with basic, pattern analysis, if you want to call it that. So where are some examples of a bull pennant, which is what I just drew, or a bullish wedge? Something like this. Price came up into the pattern, bounced around, and the breakout was to the upside. It wasn't a huge pump after it, but it broke out in that direction. So the key is opening a trade on the breakout or the back test of so this one actually came up nicely and back tested the top of the wedge and broke out. So very nice. Let's see if there's any downtrend examples. Surely there are. Okay, here we go. Here's one. Price comes into the pattern, finds support, tries to move up. The highs don't really do much. The lows are getting higher, but the highs are, not really going higher or anything like that. And it's compressing, and then, you get a drop. That's a textbook outcome for that kind of bear pennant formation. And then obviously on the way up as well. This is a very clean bull pennant right here, or bullish triangle, whatever you want to call it. They all do the same thing. They all produce the same similar result, or if it plays out to the textbook outcome. But yeah, that is a beautiful breakout. Like, move up on an uptrend, consolidation sideways. The price didn't drop much at all during this consolidation, so that would have given a lot of confidence to the bulls to go long. So as soon as it popped, as soon as it broke out, it just cascaded up. And yeah, those are the moments that day traders look for, like these patterns. And fingers crossed they play out the way that we chart them. The expected move. So what is happening in the here and now for Bitcoin on the very small time frame? Let's go to the 5-minute chart. See, we're still in this uptrend structure here. So even if you zoom in, you can see there's an uptrend within the uptrend. You can see the higher lows and higher highs. Pullback, which is made up of an ABC correction, something like that. A, B, C. So with this one, see if I can delete that as a group. Actually, I'll just undo. There we go. All right. So at the moment, we're sort of gunning to try and retest this high, which is the $23,000 resistance, the top of that like monthly range that we've been stuck in. We've spent a bit of time outside the range up here, which is really cool. Unfortunately, we weren't able to close those higher time frame candles outside of the range, I don't think. Let me check the 4 hour. Zoom back in. So yeah, I mean that, yeah, on the 4 hour there was. Let me just check the daily. Yes, there were closes there. The weekly. Okay, here we go. So the weekly has 17 hours left, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, sorry. It's a new week. Man, I'm tripping. What's this 17:47:22? So that's seconds, that's minutes, that's hours. Okay, so yeah, just under 18 hours left of this week. So it is, well, for me at the moment, it's 4 p.m. or 4:12 p.m. on a Sunday. For you guys in the US, it's probably like the wee hours of Sunday morning. So sorry if I woke you up. So yeah, with less than 24 hours left of the weekly candle, and this is what we've got as our weekly. So it's good. It'd be cool if we could get the weekly candle to close outside of this box, as this is the box we've been stuck in for some time now. We think we entered it on roughly middle of June, 13th, 14th of June, and we've been bouncing around inside of this range for over a month. Finally got the breakout on the 19th of July if you're in Australia, probably the 18th for you guys in the US. And yeah, I think it's still looking bullish. We're still looking pretty good. To see support at this level is really good. That's a good sign. But the highs to beat are this one here and this one here. We want to see price attack those levels and get above it. Can it do it? Is it due for further correction at this stage? Like, is it due to do this? Maybe, and it very well may. We may see a retest of the 20k support, but you know, I'm a little bit more of an optimist. I think we're gonna test 23k before we test 20. But yeah, anything can happen, of course. We'll have to just wait and see where the market makers decide to push it. And as far as oscillations go, so we're looking at the oscillators, the RSI, the MACD, and the Cipher B indicator. They're all suggesting that we've seen a short-term bottom set in. You can see here the green dot on the momentum wave for the Cipher indicator, suggesting that that was a momentum shift, which clearly it was. We've got, you know, the low set in and we're heading back up. And then we've got the MACD starting to hint that it's curling around to do a MACD cross where we start seeing green bars on the histogram, like these. See these bars. When you get a change in color on the MACD, I'll show you. Oh, sorry, on the histogram, when it shifts from these green bars to these red bars, that indicates the MACD crossing the signal line, and you can see it switching from red to green, not from green to red, but from red to green. It's a MACD cross in a bullish orientation. So that's the bearish cross and the bullish cross on the bottom side. You can still get bullish crosses when the MACD is up above the baseline of the histogram. But yeah, the best setups or the best selling points are when you get a cross down when the MACD is up elevated like this, so just here. And the best buying setups are when you get a MACD cross underneath like that. And let's see how that translates to price. So there was our cross. So if we sold there, you know, we closed our long or we opened a short there. And then you take the next signal down here on the MACD to there. So that would have been a profitable short to take, just purely based off the MACD. And, you know, there's confluence here with the RSI. You've got overbought, and then oversold. So, and then, yeah, let's see the next one. So we've got, you know, price climbing here. MACD cross, this is a big one, just there. So roughly, let's just call it somewhere in this region. And RSI, there's still room for the RSI to move back up again. So yeah, that's the move there. That's the, you know, the buy signal on MACD right here. About there. Let's just call it up here. Give it the benefit of the doubt. And then the sell. And this is the 4-hour chart, so you would be in this trade, you know, for a number of days. It is a bit more of a swing trade. Yeah. And yeah, thank you, GG55 Florida. Thumbs up for Rick. Good job. Appreciate that. I know there's only 20 of you in here, but I really appreciate you popping in. Producer Gaines. What's happening, man? Mr. Dino. Klaus, New Zealand. Stephen Foot. Chris's Journey in the Philippines province. How are you, my friend? Tobias. Beto. MSJS. Eva Light. Good to see you guys. So let's see if Bitcoin is able to break back above this range, so get back above 23,000, which is, it's looking pretty promising. I don't want to get everyone's hopes up, but this was a good candle to get, this hourly candle here, going up 1.5%, so it's gone up $353. Awesome to see, you know. Just to see us get above that previous high here is a very good first step to, you know, recovering the retracement we saw here. So some people might argue that this pullback here was due to the news that Tesla sold a hell of a lot of Bitcoin. So, you know, there was all this hype and drive up. And you can see, I think Elon Musk, it just seems like he's very involved in driving the narrative for Bitcoin. Like, you know, like if the market makers want it to come back a bit, it seems like, oh yeah, Elon Musk goes out and puts out some FUD, essentially. Like, oh, I just sold, or Tesla sold, you know, and it's so convenient. It's like Bitcoin's finally getting its relief, and then all of a sudden Elon Musk turns around and goes, oh yeah, we sold Bitcoin. So yeah, it just seems so convenient. Anyway, and just as the bear market started as well, Elon Musk was spreading FUD somewhere. I think it was during this drop, this first drop from 69 down. There was something. It was either in that drop or it was during this time here. I just don't remember. Anyway, the cool thing is, who cares about Elon Musk, right? Like, the market moves without him. With him or without him, crypto will be here. And the Musk effect should wear off, hopefully, eventually, as people get sick of hearing about it, as the market gets used to like what he does. Yeah, so when we break the top of this range, we've only got 2 price levels to get back up on top of. If I go back to the 15-minute chart, this price level here and this price level here. So that would be 24,250, and then this one here at 23,750. So I might mark those. Let's use orange lines for those. Let's see if I can get it bang on there. Make that a round number. And then 24,250. All right, prices to beat. I'll leave it solid. All right. And then of course we've got our 23K, which is already marked out by the top of the range. So yeah, test 1, test 2, test 3. Let's check out Fibonacci retracement and see if these orange lines, or this in particular, this line here, and maybe even the 23K line, let's see if they line up with any of the fibs. There's a chance they will. From high to low. Yes, look at that. The 786, bang on. Bang on right there. And then the 23K level falls sort of in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of like between the 0.5 and the 0.382. As you can see, price has reacted off the 382. It kind of blasted through the 236 and didn't look back, but yeah, it's looking okay. So Beto says try trend-based fib. Sure thing. Let me grab that. Let's see if I can remember how to use it. So I think it's like something like you use like 3 points, something like that. Do it from the bottom side as well. Let's use a smaller scale. So if you go up here, down to there, and then off to the low, that can measure the move. Check out that. Look at how the fib lines up here. The 2.618 lines up with this high here, like magic. Just based off this little structure here. This low, this high, and then this low. That's how I've measured it. And then, yeah, the 1-to-1 extension lines up with the retest there pretty much, $23,023. We're currently fighting at the golden Fibonacci level of the 618. But yeah, it's Fibonacci can be pretty fascinating, like just how it lines up with moves. Anyway, I'm probably going to wrap it up here. This was just a quick stream to touch base with you guys with the recent price action, as I hadn't really streamed since like back here, I think it was somewhere in there. So yeah, we saw, you know, rejection at $23,750, and we came down and found, we have seemingly found support, at least for now, at 22k, and we're trying to climb back up. I'm sure there's a fair bit of resistance to get through when we reach 23k, that big round number, as well as it being the top of the range that we've been in for over a month now. But yeah, happy days if we can get through that $23,000 resistance, and then, you know, those two orange levels of resistance ahead as well. I'll do a very quick look at some alts before I go. Let's check out Doge. We'll go to the daily just to see how things have been tracking. Look at that, that bear pennant that we pointed out in previous streams there. Textbook drop from that bear pennant, and then found or established support at 5 cents. Congratulations to the people that picked some up at the 5 cent level. Pretty good prices. And yeah, it's still stuck in this range. For the life of it, it cannot get up above 8 cents. It came close here and here, especially here. But the good news is it seems to be stabilizing, like it's flattening out, and we're getting those higher lows. There's the first low. The second low was, you know, obviously higher, but then we got this lower. This third low was lower again, but, you know, we managed to beat the previous high on that push. So far so good. There's a new low set here, so that's a higher low. But yeah, it's very choppy at the moment on Doge. It's still early days. I think if Bitcoin decides to really take off and move, that's when you'll see Doge blast through this 8 cent level, 9 cent level, and you name it. You see what targets it can hit from there. It just depends on the demand and the hype behind it. So that's Doge for the meantime. There's still plenty of time to, you know, accumulate Doge, I think, if you're a Doge fan. Let's look at Solana. Similar case with Solana as what Doge is going through. It seems to be still stuck in its range, though the trading inside of the range is still pretty lucrative. Like, you know, you can still be trading this price action and making gains. But yeah, a true breakout hasn't quite happened yet for Solana, so yeah, good news for accumulation. XRP, this thing's kind of in a lot of the alts are similar like this. They're just stuck in this range, meandering sideways. If you can identify the range, the lows and the highs of that range, you can trade them. You can try and trade the lows by buying the lows and selling the highs. All right, Shiba, still range bound, but getting those higher lows on the macro scene. Matic looks very exciting. It's got a bit of a bull pennant. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. So we've got that kind of structure going on for Matic. I wouldn't be surprised if it breaks up, goes up, and beats the previous high. You know, it gets enough momentum to punch above $1. It hasn't been above $1 since May. Yeah, April, May. So it's been underwater for some time. But this is potentially the time where it finally gets back up over $1. Keep your eyes on Matic. Anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.